poorly lit, badly edited, and only somewhat coherent comic book show on YouTube? That's the kind of quality work you get on 7 Minutes with Kevin. And I am your host, Kevin Michael Rowe. What's up, party people? It's Kevin Michael Rowe, and I'm here with the wonderful, the artistic, the great William Montalvo, coming in all the way from Florida. It's Florida, right?
Florida, yes.
That's awesome. Because we just got like 3 inches of snow here, and that's not awesome up in New York. So, I mean, I would trade a little bit of hurricanes for some snow every now and then.
It's really nice most of the year. I used to live in New York and Rhode Island, so I know your pain. And
yeah.
So
Yeah. So, Will, you've got like this. When we met on the comics experience. Like we took a class together, one of the writing classes, like a couple years ago now. But you have this like super interesting thing. Like you went to law school, you passed the bar, you're a lawyer, but you're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put aside the career where I'm gonna make money because I want to like make comic books.
Yes,
that's awesome.
I think it's going to art was at the time mostly mostly a decision just for mental health. Like I really was having a hard time making the legal career work. It was stressful from like the moment I stepped into law school. Well, actually the first few weeks in law school were really fun. Everything's exciting, new, and you're meeting all these people and you're talking about interesting stuff. And then it starts getting really, really hard. And then it's like, what am I going to do? I want to leave. But if you stay longer than 6 weeks, you owe the entire year.
Oh, so, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to pay $40,000 to not do it. It's like for no reason.
Yeah.
So I actually came in like the I think it was either the 5th or the 6th week. The end of it, I come in and it's like right after the cutoff date, and she's like, "Well, I can let you withdraw with my like withdrawal application signed." And the dean was like, "I can let you withdraw, but you know that we're still gonna have to charge you the whole year." And I was like, "All right, this withdrawal application now weighs 800 million pounds.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take it back. I can't give it to you." And I stayed in law school. And I had some interesting, experiences. It was really hard. Some parts were really cool. Like I did competition in the school and I did really well. And the moot court competitions are fun because it's like a little movie or like a D&D game, which I actually.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've got my books right down here for when I play. But I mean, I'm very thankful that you decided to leave law school because you got to work on, I'm sure, what's your favorite project of all time, N.A.R.L.I Tubular Tales with N.A.R.L.I the Radical Robot. Besides your work, you did that Cyberpunk book, Aria, right?
Yes.
And was that your first gig?
Aria was my first big project that I got, but it was not my first comic gig. I had done, I think, 4 other smaller comics, like 17, 20 pages. And then I got Aria from the same client, Daniel Gastelum.
Cool.
It was a ridiculously difficult project to do because it was very long, and you don't know what you're signing up for again with that length. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And we did Gnarly, the award-winning from my mother, says it was a very good book. So thank you so much for that. And then you're working on a graphic novel now. Is that something you want to talk about, or is that like?
I know I'm working on a graphic novel. It's been very challenging. I went in foolishly thinking that I could very easily pump out like 1 graphic novel a year, script and art. And I'm learning that it's really good to start small with comics projects, especially if you're yourself. Give yourself some small victories before tackling something huge. So
yeah, no, definitely. Wow, like I just the sheer thing, like you've, like I said, the law school thing, the however many pages Aria was, I feel like a jerk. I haven't picked up a copy yet. You did our fun book, and then you're doing this 90-page thing, and you also did some stuff for the Panel Smiths, the Slack group that we're in too, right? You did like a little 5-page story for that too. Like you're just like all over the place doing rad stuff.
Yeah, I did 10 pages for the anthology and that one I wrote myself. That was one small one that I did write.
Cool.
I think it's hard to find the right balance between length of project and like your ability to actually, because you want to make something long with a full story. It's complete. Because in comics, sales of the comics after the first issue tend to go down unless it's like
yes, really they do.
And so I was like, well, my first comic is going to be 90 pages, and I'll tell the whole story. I don't need your sales for your second issue.
That's fun. Yeah. Well, Will, we're running out of time here because this is 7 minutes with Kevin, and I don't want to bother the audience with more of my voice. And by audience, I mean like my three friends and my wife. Hi, Meg. Is there anything else you want to plug? Like your website, it's azureskycomics.com.
Yeah, you can go to Azure Sky and you can buy Gnarly, you can buy Aria. You'll be able to buy some of my projects that are coming up. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. And then I'm also working on some scripts for some new Gnarly stuff. If you're down, we'll talk about that off camera some other time if you want to bust out Gnarly #2.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, dude. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll put Will's links and everything up at the bottom. And yeah, all right. Take it easy, guys. All right. That was my interview with William Montalvo, a really great comic book artist. His works, Knights of Poseidon, was published by Panel Smiths earlier this year. Aria, Cyberpunk Mystery, was put out earlier this year. I believe that was self-published. And of course, N.A.R.L.I's Tubular Tales, which was my book that I wrote and William graciously did the art for. You can find all of his work at www.azureskycomics.com. And as for me, you can find me at www.hopefulromantics.com. That's HOPEFULROWEMANTICS. I am Kevin Michael Rowe, a comic book creator and party dude from Kingston, New York. I'm on Instagram at Kevin Michael Rowe and Twitter at KMichaelRowe. Thank you very much for checking out the interview, and we'll see you next time. So I messed up the time again because apparently I cannot come up with 7 minutes of content. But I do have a 10-second video of my dog being scared by a droid. But don't worry, he got a very nice treat afterwards. Later.